Morning guys, a welcome from the house today, not the shed. A lot of you guys know me from my instructional paint videos and equipment videos that I run from the shed. A lot of you probably are not aware of my hobby. I've not really said much about it in the past, but I have a hobby of collecting, restoring vintage sewing machines. With that goes along the territory of actually doing quite a bit of practical sort of household sewing as well. So today I just wanted to spend a few minutes, as we're all into lockdown, and hope you're all doing what you should and all nice and well. Just going to show you a few that I've restored just this year. I have quite a selection of sewing machines, but this year I've sort of done half a dozen or so that I think are, nice for you guys to have a look and see what's going. So I'll probably add some titles into the sewing sort of network on YouTube, as well as my painting YouTube. Right, so here we go then. I'll just pan round and just see what we've got. On the table here I've just got 4 to show you. We'll start over this side. This is a Janome 661. This is a Japanese built machine, badged new home. This is what was sort of sold back in the day from sort of John Lewis. Machine, as you can see it there, absolutely like brand new. Comes with all its toolkit, boxes, manuals, everything like that. I try to get all the toolkits and manuals with them when I can. It just puts a bit more history to the machine, and they're sort of that much more worth doing to sort of make as a collector's item. So all these machines that you'll see today all come with all the toolkits, foot pedals, correct boxes, and all the accessory kits with them that they should. This one over here, love them or hate them if you know what you are in the sewing fraternity. A 720, Touch and Sew 720, another one made by Singer. This one's cast aluminium body, not the cast steel. After a while they were sort of made lighter so that people could have them a little bit more manoeuvrable, so that you could pick up the box and take it to a friend's house and help them do sewing and things like that. So they were made a little bit lighter. This one has got a selection of fashion discs which you can put in the top, so you can create all sorts of little fashion sewing and stitches. Plus it's got an inbuilt array of stitches on the fronts of the machines, needle position movement, different stitch sizes, reverse, everything you'd expect on a modern machine, but just made good, strong, heavy cast. This one, when we bought it, it was a really cheap version off the internet. The cam stack gear was broken and the bobbin gear was broken, so it took a little while to find suppliers of those, but they are out there. So we've replaced all those, retimed the machine, full service, full clean up inside as well, so it looks like new inside and out. I managed a little while after to get the proper Singer accessories box, which didn't come with it to start with, but I've got a full set of accessories, cam wheels, fashion discs, buttonhole machine, everything that would have come with the machine from new. So that's a complete package there as well. It's nice that this one folds away a little bit, take up some space, and also you can eject the bed, which will now give you a free arm. So if you're sewing sleeves or trousers, hemming trousers, things like that, you can now use it in a free arm position. This one has got a special bobbin setup, whereas the bobbin, you don't rewind the bobbin off the machine and convert it back to the machine. This one, you push this little button in here, pull the little button on this one. It will automatically rewind the bobbin from the thread that's coming through the machine. When you finish, you close the lid, that sets it back to sew mode. Just carry on, don't have to stop to reload the bobbin. Right, next one, got a Jones, a model 104. This is a very heavy duty machine, all steel workings again. Feed dogs that you can drop so that if you're doing any sort of embroidery work or embellishing, you can actually do that on this machine. Decent reverse. This is a bit more sort of manly machine. Good solid knobs and buttons for stitch widths. Auto bob winder as well to wind the bob in. But a good solid machine. Once again, you can see it's basically a Type 15 machine with the tension adjust on the front of the machine rather than in the side. Obviously electric foot control. It's got its own light, which we managed to get a period replacement bulb by Everready, so that the bulb is actually period as well as all the other bits and pieces on it. Once again, full complement of low shank feet, so all the accessories again that would have come with the machine, once again all there. This one, for a long time I wanted to get a 1591, which is a potted motor Singer. The main of them now are available in America rather than the UK. There are some that come up in the UK, but not for a while. This one's a bit of a special sort of home built one for myself. I've converted lots of this accessories to the correct period items. The body itself is about a 1974 replica body made by Singer, but made in Taiwan. They actually done the castings in Taiwan. Genuine Singer castings, all imprinted underneath with the castings. Type 15 again, tension device on the front. All the bits and pieces on this one I've changed to Simanco. So all the presser feet, needle, clamp, all the knobs and buttons and screws, the bobbin wheel, the actual hand wheel itself, all the accessories on the machine have been changed from these 1974 sort of copy sort of versions to the genuine Simanco ones. I've done that specifically for one reason. On an ordinary 15k machine, you haven't got feed dog drop, so you can't do any embroidery with it. So this has got a feed dog drop, so that's an extra to this 15. But also the normal 15s don't have a reverse. So this has got a reverse and stitch size as well. So this machine as it is wasn't sort of available from Singer. This is just something that I've bought all the bits and pieces off the relevant models that are compatible and changed them over. When I had this one, it came as a hand wind machine, didn't have any electrics on it, so once again converted it to electric and bought the proper period Singer Type 12 sewing machine motor and a period black rubber band as well, because the modern bands are red and look horrible. But this now sews absolutely beautiful. It's almost silent, which was one of the faults with this machine as it was made in 1974. They were a bit rattly. Some of the accessories, some of the bits and pieces were a little bit tinified, we'll say, and they didn't quite work as good as the sort of proper 15k built in Scotland ones. But like I say, all the parts, all the components, all underneath, all the bobbin housings, everything has been changed to absolute genuine Simanco parts. There's no sort of later production parts in that. So that's quite rare really, in the respect of you can't sort of buy it. Right, 2 more to go. So I'm in the hall. As you can see, buttonhole attachments, pattern discs, all the tools, all the fixings, toolkits, screwdrivers, everything that you want with a 401G. This aluminium bodied, this has got a vertical motor inbuilt into the machine and it drives through metal gears. There's no plastic gears in this one. Once again, fashion discs are changeable in the top, so there's hundreds of different patterns that you could actually make up with this one. Most of the cam gear on this is set up inside, so by the control of these 2 knobs you can actually change lots of different patterns. So this will do zigzag, embroidery patterns, everything as you want really. There is another version of this which was made out of Scotland, which is the 401A. Sorry, 401A is America. So this one is a 401G. So the G is a German-built one. Sorry to say that some of the German-built Singers were actually better than the ones that we made in this country, in some people's views. The way to tell the difference for a 1G and a 401A is ironically just this little fin on the top. That little fin there sticks up there. That is only on the G model, it's not on the A model. But once again, as you can see, immaculate condition, everything's gleaming. It's had a full strip down. Every part has all been washed clean. I use methylated spirits to wash mine. It sort of sterilises them and gets rid of all the old oils. It breaks down the old oils so they're nice and clean inside. Restart them with fresh Singer grease, the proper stuff, and full oil, full service, full timing adjustments, strip and rebuild all the tensioning devices so that the tensioners will now actually work within the range as they're supposed to. Singer sort of likes 4 or 5 on the tension device, so that's the best way to sort of set them up nice and new and clean and shiny. This one will actually take a 2 needle. This will take 2 rolls of cotton. With actually 2 slots in the back of the tensioning device. So in that tensioning device you can put down through 2 separate rolls of cotton down to a twin needle, and there's a twin needle setup and a presser foot plate at the bottom, the feed dog plate that takes the 2 needles. So once again you can do twin row stitching and whatever you want with that one. Right, last one for today. I don't know whether this is the prize of the collection at the moment or not really. It was one that I wanted to get. I wanted a 201. This is a 201/2. This is the one that everybody tries to get. Simply because it's what we call the potted motor. So this one has got a potted motor in the back of the machine. It hasn't got an electric motor mounted on the back run by a rubber band. So inside that we've got a worm drive coupling the hand wheel, another worm drive coupling the mechanisms underneath the machine. There's like a little diff underneath the machine, and that goes through to another set of diffs here to actually drive feed dogs in the bottom. So this one is all bronze and steel geared right the way throughout, so there's no backlash. It's an instant movement. It's absolutely silent. That is actually going. It's absolutely silent. So once again, this has been fully stripped, fully rebuilt. Period bulb put back into the light on the front. We had to buy a brand new tensioner on this one, not because it was faulty, because that the combination of the black and the silver writing was a little bit hard to see. So I managed to find a brand new one, which is quite hard to find, but it's now got a brand new tensioner. Once again, set up absolutely like new. So you can see the paperwork on this one. This is what we call the paperclip design, which the other 15K that we looked at earlier was the RAF design. So once again, all the decals, all the paintwork. I don't know quite how you can see. It's had minimum work. There's a little bit of fade in the paperwork, paperclip design on the front, tiny bit of fade there and a little bit on the corner, where obviously materials obviously been pushed through making curtains or whatever was made. This machine, at the time when Rolls-Royce were making their vehicles and all the seats and upholsteries were hand stitched, there was what I'll call out of production times where the main of the sewing was done on industrial machines for Rolls-Royce, but there was times where it could have potentially been special orders from customers. It could have been just repair work, you know, an item was damaged or whatever. So there was times that portable sewing machine stations were needed to be put up in the factories, and the Rolls-Royce actually engaged Singer to put in remote stations throughout the factory to continue with the sewing sort of out of the production line. Excuse me. So you can probably remember people saying that the Singer is the Rolls-Royce of machines. This is actually why they were called the Rolls-Royce machines, because they were used in the factory building Rolls-Royce in the day. So that one is quite a nice rare machine that sort of people try to get. Once again, all the wiring on all the machines has all been replaced. They've all been pat tested. Where fastenings and connectors and things for inside the motors and inside the foot pedal controller, all the wiring has all been changed to correct modern day terminals. Obviously all use of black ones, so they look period, but there are actually sort of higher spec, so that there's no issues with anybody touching them and getting an electric shock or any insulation breaking down or whatever. So they've all been totally gone through. All the wiring that hasn't passed or hasn't passed inspection has all been changed. Right, that's it guys. As I say, normally we talk about paint. Ironically, some of these machines have had paint, mixed colours myself. So there is a sort of element of fabrication and paint work and things, so that overlaps my two sort of skill sets, we'll say. So we can do the engineering, we can do the painting. So obviously it's nice things to renovate and use the skills that you have to sort of have a nice collection of machines. I have other ones upstairs. I do have some modern day machines as well, but don't really use those very much where possible. I get these all set up. I have one set up for grey, one set up for white, one set up for black, one set up for navy blue. So if someone in the family requires some running repairs on shirts, trousers, jumpers, whatever, just pick up the machine that's got the cotton already set up, so it takes less time to set up, and just crack on. Right, talked enough now. Hope it's been interesting. As I say, I'll publish this on my painting site, but I'll also do some on my sewing site as well. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope you can appreciate and try to sort of revive and sort of recycle, upcycle, whatever the term is these days, to try and keep things like this in immaculate conditions and nice and shining. Hope that was fun guys. See you again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.